Hi, this is Jade Edmondson, and this is my Module 15 case study. Category 1 is problem identification and analysis. First, I need to answer the question, what do I know? As far as demographics, I know that there are students pre-K through 8th grade, 700 students total. 15% of students are free and reduced lunch, and 5% of students are English language learners. Perception data, I really only have parent perceptions and only that from the parents that are involved in PTO. But from that PTO letter, I know that there's parent dissatisfaction with ELA instruction. The parents are focusing on spelling instruction and the reading scores with their complaints. And they're also reporting a lack of phonics instruction and a lack of enrichment opportunities for students. As far as our school processes, this data I got from the reading supervisor's observations that we are using basal reading curriculums. We have 1 hour or sometimes more in the ELA block in classrooms, and there's mostly whole group instruction with very little differentiation for students. Student learning, I really only have the reading scores from standardized tests, and I can see that they are worse than math and that the cohorts of students are losing ground over time. Okay, for B, what do I need to know? For demographics, I would need to know how many IEPs, 504 plans, and behavior plans are in our school and how the students in those categories are performing on reading. I would like to know the racial and ethnic makeup of the school, and then for all of those categories, I would like to know how that compares to their reading achievement by their demographic grouping so that we can tell if there are any patterns or gaps with certain groups of students. For perceptions, I would like to also get teacher and student input, not just parent perceptions. For school processes, I would like to know what support staff, interventionists, or specialists we have at the school, and what reading interventions are already in place in the classroom or outside of the classroom within our building. For student learning data, I would like to see the district data on reading scores, and also what other measures of reading achievement we have at our school that are collected by teachers or school itself. Okay, and C, what is the problem? Well, the problem is that we have low reading achievement in our school comparatively. We have parent dissatisfaction with the instruction in reading. There's clearly a lack of communication with parents and the community about our curriculum and instruction and student achievement. And there's need for teacher professional development to update our classrooms with best practices. Okay, category 2 is the proposed plan of action. My action steps are as followed. First, I would set up a meeting with district curriculum and instruction superintendents or personnel. I would request district-wide data relating to reading achievement. I would review my school's concerns relating to reading. I would present the following action steps of this plan, and I would request support with the grant application. Step 2, I would establish a data leadership team to help with the grant application process, to lead data collection and analysis initiatives. Step 3, I would collect additional perception data. I would by sending out a survey to the parent, staff, and students, 3rd through 8th grade, and I would definitely include parts on that survey that are focusing specifically on reading instruction to get more information on that. Step 4, I would make some changes to our ELA instruction in our building. I would require 120 minutes of ELA instruction, 60 of which must be flexible small group instruction. I would encourage the integration of social studies and science instruction with reading and writing to make room for that added ELA time in the schedule. I would work to align the curriculum to state standards by working with our specialists and teachers and leadership team in the school. And we would create new assessments focusing on the standards if needed, in addition to whatever assessments are already with our basal reading curriculum. Step 5, I would improve parent communication and engagement by attending the PTO meeting to debrief the data analysis goals and the proposed action plan that is coming from the previous steps in this plan. And I would require Classroom and school-wide newsletters for parents. Classroom newsletters weekly and school newsletters monthly to keep parents informed. I would encourage classroom websites, multiple means of communication, and parent volunteers in the school. And I would schedule parent education events to focus on different topics that parents seem to need more information on or would be interested in learning more about so that they can support their students in school. And step 6, I would work on professional development for our staff. Hopefully this could be paid for by the grant if we receive the grant. And I would also make sure that we have PLC time scheduled twice a month for data analysis led by our new data analysis team. And at staff meetings, I would have teachers selected to share best practices that are going on in their classroom, maybe based off of what the reading supervisor said. If certain teachers are already implementing some of the things that we want to start implementing school-wide, to have those teachers share it and sort of spearhead the initiative. Okay, the strategies for implementing this plan are collaboration and communication with stakeholders, professional development for the staff, schedule changes, creation of the leadership team for data collection and analysis, and the focusing our instruction and assessments on standards. Okay, category 3, how I'm going to resolve the issues that were presented and show that I'm promoting the success for all students. Well, the survey will get perception data from all subgroups of parents, not just the PTO members, and it also includes student input. The data leadership team will compare demographic and student learning data to find gaps for certain subgroups of students to make sure we're not missing any areas of need with certain student populations. And changes in instruction will require teachers to better meet the needs of all students through individualization, small groups, differentiation, and all of that will help to reach more students than they were previously. The data that I considered when coming up with the resolution for these issues, the letter from the PTO was considered for making changes to parent communication and involvement. The standardized test scores helped identify the need for a data leadership team by the lack of other data that we have access to. And the observations from the reading supervisor were considered for changes to ELA instruction and topics for professional development. Category 4 is about reflecting on the process of making these changes in this plan of action, my thoughts, feelings, and values. I was thinking about how much missing data there was as I was looking at this case study. I was feeling like this should be done in collaboration with the district and not by our school alone. And I was valuing teacher input and student input in addition to the parent input that I received and the input from just certain staff members like the reading supervisor that I received. There are some possible unresolved issues that may be brought up in the future. First, will we receive the grant, and how could we pay for professional development without the grant would need to be considered. What will be cut out of the schedules to make room for more ELA instruction? I kind of addressed this by saying that we could integrate social studies and science into our ELA time. What level of parent support and involvement can we expect with the anticipated changes in ELA instruction? You know, if one of our big goals is going to be to communicate more and collaborate more with parents, then that's a valid concern of how much support are we going to get from them, and what level of support can we expect from the district, and will they help provide financial help or additional resources for what we're trying to do with our reading scores and instruction. In category 5, how we're connecting this to the standard 8. Well, for family and community engagement, in my plan of action, I proposed parent education opportunities, parent newsletters. I will present at the PTO meeting to follow up on the concerns that they brought to me, and, administering the ongoing perception survey for parents and students. For community communication, well, I used observations from the reading supervisor to create the plan of action to present to parents and district personnel to address their concerns. The lack of student learning data, except for standardized test scores, inspired the creation of the data leadership team and this team can analyze data and create user-friendly infographics to present to the stakeholders. And the concerns from the PTO letter led to the ongoing parent surveys to collect more perception data, and these concerns are addressed through PTO meetings following up, newsletters, and parent education events. And ongoing dialogue with decision makers. Well, we enlisted district help with the grant application process. I met with district personnel to review school data. I requested access to district data, and I am using stakeholder surveys to keep an ongoing dialogue with decision makers. And that is all for my case study module 15. Thank you.